But the specific things aren't the important things, I think.
Doesn't have to be any blood or anything. I mean, they come across as a little cliche.
Businesses, it's incredible.
Yes.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Hudson.
Okay.
Sit at the end of this.
Basically,
Right.
the more information
We're ready. And all along this trough, it continues all the way from this wall. You mean over the edge of the top of this
Yeah,
wall?
we don't have that much room there.
Okay, wait. You mean as if we were going to take this crack all the way up and over?
Yeah. Or does it
I wasn't
start
even-
from here and then go down? It seems more natural that it spreads out
That's cool.
somewhat in this direction. I mean, maybe it does go all the way
Maybe it should.
through, even
Yeah.
like to the water.
That would be cool. I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking it would just kind of
Because
stop where the knife begins.
The
Elevation here. Okay. This is what is called here the cool area. This forest is going to be kind of dark and have a coolish.
the hip is
Although this is the most prominent area where that's visible because it's such a long stretch before you get to this tree. Serious weirdness.
in particular. This continues to steps down, and you're gonna.
Oh,
It's just going
Cool.
to be.
this moment.
Even that's been gamma increased.
So there, I think there will still be some areas where it would be nice to take away.
Thank God you've returned. Designing Riven, it's like any other creative endeavor. You sit down with a blank piece of paper, you brain dump onto it, and you throw away most of it, and some of it sticks. The very first thing we did with Riven was design the whole gameplay for the entire world, which is basically just a blueprint of the puzzles that the player will find throughout the environment. We really made an attempt to try and think of those puzzles as part of the environment rather than just some sort of arbitrary Rubik's Cube that you encounter along the way. Obviously it starts exactly where Myst left off, and from there it all changes. The story itself, we've been real hesitant to reveal too much of it. It'd be like telling someone that Darth Vader was Luke's father. It kind of ruins the movie. We don't want to do that. We want people to be really impressed and get the rewards they deserve for waiting for 4 years.
The player can go anywhere they want to go in this world. They can look at anything and turn in any direction. And because of that, we have to build a space in the computers that is fully dimensional and complete in every direction.
It's basically like setting up a movie set. We have the entire room set up with all of our lights and our cameras so that we can take basically pictures of that room inside the room from any angle that we want.
On top of that, then, we have so many different states for the elements in that space. For example, you could be looking at a wall and a door could be open, or the door could be closed, or a handle beside the door could be pulled towards you or away from you, and it just goes on and on and on and on. The complexity is immense. And I think that's something people will never realize when they're playing the game. They'll just take for granted that it's a place, it's a real place, and that's what we want them to think.
Every object, even down to the smallest bolt on an object, we have a picture that represents what that bolt should look like, what type of metal it is, if it has stains on it. We went into so much detail to create these realistic looking textures for each individual object.
The mag car in the outline form of the game was just a footbridge, but when we got to actually solving that problem for real, we asked ourselves, how do we get people from A to B in the most interesting way possible? So we eventually wound up with the mag car, which is basically just like a deluxe horizontal elevator.
We had the luxury of not just two people doing artwork, but teams of people. And not just having Macs to do it on, but having XGI workstations. Instead of one person doing sound, we had teams of people doing sound. From the smallest picture to the largest movie, any little bit and piece that we could tell a story with, we did. We've spent 4 years working on this thing. Putting this all together was a monumental task. Almost 5,000 pictures and 3 hours of QuickTime, hour and whatever of music and sound and astronomical amount of data.
But the best feeling of all comes at the very end when you get to watch people wander through the environment. You get to see their reaction. You finally get to see how all those things that you designed, all the complexity that you put into this environment and just hoped it would work, it comes together and it works. And that's just, there's nothing like that.